Hello everybody, back again, and how are you today? Hope you're well. Gonna be honest, I love this story that I'm reviewing today, that I'm talking about today. Any criticisms I have for the story are just going to be adding to the charm of the story, and it's possibly one of my all-time favourites. It's definitely my favourite guilty pleasure story. I am, of course, talking about Delta and the Bannermen, which is available on season 24 Blu-ray box set and also a standalone DVD VHS. I can't recall when I first saw this story. It was definitely in the early 90s when I was getting into the show. And from the very first time I watched it, I loved it. I loved it then. I love it now. It's got a charm that is so unique that it could only work in season 24. This was the first story written with Sylvester McCoy cast as the Seventh Doctor, because as I mentioned in my two previous videos, the two stories, Time and Rana and Paradise Towers, had been written before he was cast. So this is the first one where really he could portray the Doctor that he wanted because it was written for him. And I love it. I love it so much. I love the score. I love the music cues, the songs. I love the cast. I love the characters. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 from me. Easily. 10 out of 10. Straight out of the park. It's because McCoy, the Doctor and Mal, basically arrive at Tollbooth and looking a little bit scared, a little bit jumpy, which is slightly out of character for the Doctor. But then it's season 24. It's charming. And he meets the Tollbooth master, and it's Ken Dodd. Why? Why not? Ken Dodd in Doctor Who is only in part one and is just brilliant. Because the Doctor is a 10 billionth customer to use out Tollbooth, him and Mel went a free holiday to Disneyland in 1959. So off we go on a nostalgia tours bus with a load of aliens that go through an archway to make themselves look human, and off we go. The Doctor's following in the TARDIS, and they hit one of the first satellites launched by the US, and they end up crash landing in Shangri-La, South Wales, Barry Island in South Wales. And it's just, I love this one. I do. Because you got Delta. He's the last of the Shimmeron. She's the last Shimmeron Queen. People have been wiped out by a race called the Bannermen, basically, led by Gavrock, portrayed by the awesome Don Henderson, who's just having a ball with this one. He talks in a gravelly voice like this. And he's so very, very evil. I love it. I love the fact that in the end of part two, he's eating raw meat. Why? Why not? Just show it he's evil. I love the fact that part one, cliffhanger to part one, features a bounty hunter who's already on the Nostalgia Tours bus / spaceship before Delta got on, which tells me that he was just off on his jollies. He wanted a holiday, so off he went, and the job come up. I love locations. I love the two FBI agents, Weissmuller and Hawk. Weissmuller is played by Stubby K. Again, another bit of stunt casting, and he gives one of the all-time great Doctor Who lines. Well, I should say it's one of my favourites when he rings the White House, as you do, on a telephone box, police telephone box, similar to the TARDIS, but it's a genuine police telephone box. Rings the White House and says, "We're in Wales, England." I love that. I don't know why I love it. I think it's because the Americans see all of UK as England. When it says in Wales, England, it makes me laugh. every single time. Wise Miller and Hawk are a great pair of FBI agents. They have no reason to be in the story. They don't add anything to the story. But I'm so glad they are. Because they're brilliant. I love them. I love them so much. Seriously, these two deserve a spin-off. They should have had a spin-off. You've got scenes where the Doctor is riding the motorbike. A proper Vincent motorbike. Classic design. And he's got a that it was a rubbish version of that, but when you hear it, you know what tune it is. And the long shots have Macaulay wearing glasses because he was incredibly short-sighted in real life. Well, he still is. He's not dead, but he is incredibly short-sighted. So some of the long-distance shots have him obviously wearing his glasses, and it just again adds to the charm. You got Ray, who is was it right? No, Billy, who falls in love with Delta. I mean, she's an alien, easily twice his age, and he falls in love with her, and they share no chemistry whatsoever, none at all. And again, adds to the charm because it's just so laugh out loud bad, but it's just beautiful. And he's trying to turn himself into an alien. Every time I think about it, it's like he's going to end up looking like one of the plastic soldiers seen right at the start. That's fucking hilarious. And it doesn't seem to faze him either that Delta's got this baby who is growing at a massive rate. And he's just like, yeah, she's growing. That's awesome. That's literally the extent of his emotional growth as well. You got Tony, not Tony, sorry, the Murray, the bus driver, and that lot, who sadly get killed off halfway through the second part. That to me is a major downer of this story. But my headcanon is they escaped. It just looks like they were killed, but they escaped. So that's my headcanon, and that's what I'm sticking with. Because they're charming as well. The whole story is charming. If I'm in the mood for a Doctor Who story I can just enjoy, just whack on, enjoy for 90 minutes, whatever, I often choose Delta and the Bannermen. It's one of my all-time favourites. I love this so much. You got Ray, and his proper Ray this time, who was potentially a companion. There was talks about her being a companion, placing Bonnie Langford, who was leaving. But it was decided, no, it was going to be Ace, played while she's Sophie Aldred. So there's a timeline somewhere where Ray becomes a companion and she ended up beating a Dalek with a baseball bat or carrying explosives or whatever. She's great in herself. She is played by Sarah Griffith. I hope I pronounced that surname right. She's fantastic. I just love this story so much. I genuinely love this story. Delta on a Bannerman. Yeah. This to me is like the start of a new golden age for the show. And it's just a shame nobody was watching it at the time. But yeah, Delta on a Bannerman, 10 out of 10. It's just, I could wax lyrical about this story all day. But it's already coming up for 9 minutes long, this video. Yeah. Delta on the Bannerman. If you don't love it, then you're dead to me. Because you should love it. This is a story that needs to be loved. But, yeah, as I record this, the season 22 box set was released, which I may talk about. Yeah, look, see, I've got it. Ooh. I may talk about that at some point in the future. But yeah, Delta and Bannerman, 10 out of 10. My next review will be for Dragonfire, and that notorious cliffhanger. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you all have a good week. Not sure when my review will be. Hopefully not too long, because I'm sort of in the zone now. I want to carry on watching stuff. And yeah, anyway, I'll see you all soon. Bye.